Did you know about the Digimon Adventure 02 movie Revenge of Diaboromon? Because I didn't. So let's talk about it. In my recent Digimon Adventure 02 video, and I learned after posting that it is pronounced 02, not O2, I mentioned that I might need a bit of a Digimon break after making that very substantial video, but turns out I'm back already with more Digi content. I am the Digi Kitty for a reason, after all. So this is a quick 30-minute film, as far as I can tell. It's actually quite difficult to find, but my research showed the version that I found is likely the entirety of the film. It's 29 to 30 minutes depending on the version, and it does not contain all of the original voice cast. It aired in the US on Toon Disney in 2005, and I don't recall ever hearing or seeing anything about it. There was an additional English dub with a completely different voice cast, released around 2014 in Southeast Asia. So there's kind of an interesting background to this movie. This film, along with the two Digimon Tamers films, is being released with some new redubbing, bringing back some of the original voice cast on December 30th of this year. So I will likely watch the updated version, and depending upon how different it is, maybe I'll make a short little video talking about said differences. For now, I am discussing the already released dub version of this from 2005. The story takes place 3 months after the defeat of Malo-Myotismon, aka 3 months after the conclusion of Digimon Adventure 02. The movie opens with various children receiving emails, and we see many Kuramon, who we can recall was the baby form of Diaboromon from the original Digimon movie, attaching pictures of Tai and Matt, claiming that they are looking for them. We see Davis running past some screens, paralleling back to Sora doing the exact same thing in the same location in the first movie. There are these like Gen Alpha coded kids talking about the emails from jellyfish-like creatures. We see our Digidestined gathered together per Izzy's request. We are sadly missing Mimi, who is mid-flight back to Japan, Joe, who is focused on his college entrance exam scores, and Sora, who is on her way home after spending the summer at tennis camp. That leaves us with Tai, Matt, Izzy, TK, Kari, Davis, Yoli, Cody, and Ken. I absolutely love to see Ken in movie format, and the more I reflect on it, I realize that Ken might be my favorite Digidestined. One of the changed voices for this dubbed film is Tai, and it's quite jarring to hear the different actor. Notably, Patamon, Gabumon, and Hawkmon are also drastically different voices. The new actors do well, but it's an adjustment from what I am already just so familiar with. So, now that everyone who was available has gathered together, Izzy lets them know about the emails and that they were actually sent by Diaboromon. Yoli replies saying, "You mean the one from the net all those years ago?" And I just thought that was really funny because when I was editing my 02 video, I realized I said the phrase all those years ago like multiple times. The kids realize that Omnimon must not have completely destroyed Diaboromon. I'm honestly a bit confused because Digimon the movie tells us that Diaboromon did remain after that battle and ended up corrupting Kokomon, but apparently some of his data remained even beyond that and has multiplied. Also, I really would have loved to see Willis or hear him mentioned, as he was essentially responsible for the original Kuramon and Diaboromon, but alas, we don't get that. Side note, in this scene, Matt looks super cool. I love a man wearing rings. Izzy continues to explain that the Kuramon are being emailed and thus receive access through that mail to the real world. Izzy shows them, quote, a screen capture he made to re-emphasize his point, and boy, if that ain't me every time I'm making a video. The team decides to split up. Tai and Matt will head to the web so Omnimon can take down Diaboromon, and the other kids will round up the Kuramon that have entered the real world. We have a funny scene from a grocery store where a woman shopping reads the labels that say fillet of Matt and Tai chops, both ridiculously marked up to be extremely expensive, again correlating to the antics that Diaboromon did in the first film. We then get our teams of Davis and Ken, Yoli and Kari, and TK and Cody off to get the Roguemon. They plan to send them through a gate back to Izzy, who wants to wait for Jenai's opinion on what to do with them. The teams are a-workin', and we see a charm on Davis's cell phone that looks just like Matt, which is pretty cool. I'm wondering if his band has gotten so big that they now already have merch. I want some. Davis and Ken are on the train when Kurumon starts coming to the real world now via cell phones and text messages. We cut to Tai and Matt on the internet. Agumon and Gabumon warp DNA digivolve. What? This is brand new. This is brand new information. They then obviously become Omnimon, and Omnimon takes on Diaboromon, while TK and Kari decide to then head into the web to assist them. Anjumon and Anjawamon join in, and a couple of things here. One, why does Anjumon not digivolve into Magna Anjumon? This happens so many times actually throughout both series where it's like, I don't understand why he doesn't just go all the way and digivolve to his highest possible form. Two, Anjawamon makes this comment about Anjumon being just like a man for getting lost in the web and not asking for directions, and that's pretty funny. And number three, they are absolutely freaking giant for some reason. Like, TK and Kari are like tiny little specks on their shoulders, and I don't really understand why they did that, other than I guess they just needed TK and Kari to easily like ride on them as they move around through battle, but that was kind of an interesting choice. As the Angel Digimon are making their way to join the fight, it is being displayed on screens in the public in the real world, and people remark that, oh, they remember this battle from all those years ago, and they wonder why it's being replayed. We actually see some of the exact same kids from the first movie in the same locations, like in the hospital, and there's like these school kids, and they have not seemed to age at all, which is interesting. Just thought that was something of note. Our sibling duos continue the fight as Davis tries to borrow a computer to send his energy to help Kari. Diaboromon uses hundreds, if not thousands, of Kurumon to weaken the protagonist Digimon. Yoli is the queen that she is and does some sort of computer thing to help. Details are not exactly freely given in this film, so we just gotta roll with it. Omnimon seems to destroy Diaboromon, but the Kurumon all leave the net. They are all sent through the general public cell phones, and the city is flooded with Kurumon, all going to rendezvous at the harbor per Diaboromon's request. Mimi shows up and joins Izzy, and I totally love this. It reminds me just how robbed we were of seeing her interact with her peers in the 02 series. As a Mimi, Joe, and Ken stan, I love when we see any of them, especially the lesser focused upon Mimi and Joe. Izzy seems a bit annoyed with her, which in some ways is characteristic, but they are friends and he should be excited, dang it. Plus, I am just thrilled that she is actually involved in the plot and in on the action this time. Also, I love her outfit. Izzy tells her how he figured out Diaboromon's plan. He realized that the Kurumon data can all come together to form Diaboromon in the real world. Diaboromon himself would have been too large of data to directly materialize, hence needing the Kurumon as part of his plan. The younger kids all make their ways to the harbor, but there is a blackout in the city and they have to make their way on foot. We see that Sora is now back in the city and also on her way. Cody meets up with Yoli down where the action is, and they see millions of Kurumon joining together to digivolve into an even more powerful version of Diaboromon, as thousands of onlookers, mostly children, watch. The movie doesn't tell us this, but apparently he is called Armageddonmon, and he is fairly frightening. Somehow, a rift is opened, and Omnimon, along with Tai and Matt, appear at the battle scene. Joe tracks down Ken and Davis and gives them his bike and steals another random girl's bike to help them get to the harbor in time. Joe is the GOAT. Back at the harbor, Omnimon completely runs out of energy. We see that Kari and TK have somehow reunited with Izzy and Mimi, and they watch as the battle unfolds. I'll also mention now that Tentomon has been in communication with Izzy throughout the film, offering his assistance. Davis and Ken finally arrive, and the onlookers are all there, parting the Red Sea, so to speak, and allow them through, cheering them on as they meet up with their Digimon partners, who were previously carried to the harbor by the Kurumon. Now, Vmon and Wormmon are able to DNA digivolve together into Paildramon, and then Imperial Dramon, which the movie incorrectly states is his fighter mode, but he actually does not change into fighter mode right away, so just pointing that out. Sora arrives as Imperial Dramon takes on Diaboromon. I will say that she leans into Tai when she is frightened, and I will forever prefer the two of them to her being with Matt, but hey, whatever makes them all happy, you know? Imperial Dramon, now in fighter mode, receives strength from Omnimon and is transformed into a new Digimon, which again the movie does not tell us directly. I researched to find this out, and he becomes Imperial Dramon Paladin mode. As such, he takes down Armageddonmon, who then reverts back into the Kuramon. Cody has an idea to send the Kuramon to the trash via their cell phones, and very confusingly, we cut back to Tai and Kari blowing the whistle to awaken Greymon from when they were toddlers in the fight against Parrotmon, and the kids seem to hear this sound. We also then see a young child Matt playing the harmonica, and I do not know the relevance of showing us this, but Cody's idea seems to work, and all of the kids and onlookers hold up their cell phones to trap the Kuramon. It's actually pretty beautiful as it parallels the finale of Zero Two when all of the kids were holding up their digivices to destroy Malomyotismon. Peace is then restored upon the land, and that's our movie. We get a few images in the end credits just showing all of the Digidestined together, which is fun and sweet. But yeah, that was Diaboromon's pathetic attempt at revenge. It's interesting to think that the cast reunited, or at the very least, they individually reprised their Digimon roles 4 years after Zero Two, the series, ended. It's in some ways bittersweet because I just don't want these stories to end. I feel so connected to the Digimon Adventure characters, I just don't want it to stop. But I also felt that the way the series ended was really good, so this is just kind of an odd standalone continuation that then just ends. So yeah, it's a quick little story, and I enjoyed watching it. The stakes are a lot lower than the original Digimon movie, and like I said, it's a very quick watch, but that's okay. It's nice to revisit our characters, and I treasure this random, almost lost media, and am delighted that it's being re-released and with the original voice cast. I look forward to the new version and seeing what changes may come. I would love to hear your thoughts on any of this, and I think with that, I will end the video, so thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you feel so inclined. I talk about a lot of different media on my channel, and as is pretty obvious, I am very into Digimon, so that's a common theme. But if you're interested, please check me out, and yeah, peace out. Digimon is forever, fam.